We're going to call a meeting to order for April 7th, 4 p.m. That's what the expression says. Prior to, we'll run down this, is there any letters, communications to the board? There enough. Okay. Board minutes approval. You've got October, November, December. Have you review and recommend for approval? Okay.
I'll make the motion.
Do we have a second? Second. Okay, Don. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Comments and presentations from citizens regarding the agenda items? None? I'm going to ask for a motion for an executive session on an issue that will take us about maybe 4 or 5 minutes with the board. So I need a motion for executive session.
With negotiations?
Yes, it's in regards to negotiations.
I'm on track negotiations, Riverbank Power, Ogdensburg, LLC.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, Mary. Okay. So it's just straight out there in the hallway or somewhere. We'll be in just a few minutes.
Fly through and sit.
I didn't mention what taxes or trailers.
Yeah.
TNT.
Yeah, either one.
And then when we tell the truth, we make up lines about it no matter what. Pretty sure you're going to get it. We're going to get it. We're supposed to get it. We're going to use it. Okay, we're back from executive session.
I don't mind it.
Brian, we're back from executive session, and there will be something to report from our executive session, and it'll be later in the meeting that report will come out, so you will know what the executive session was. Okay? Report of the staff reports. Wait a minute. The gentleman in the back, did I give you a chance to sit down? You got anything?
Well, I do, and I almost said something when you mentioned correspondence, but
Presentation by citizens. You want to come in there?
I can do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're up.
Oh, I'm up.
Yeah. Get on the camera, because people don't think anybody comes. Everybody see.
All right. Listen, I know Jim kind of, but I know his father, and I know his father-in-law, and his wife, maybe better. But other than that, I really don't have many folks here, but yeah. And Steve, of course, I know Steve. I just respectfully request that I've got an airplane over at the airport. And back in December, it seemed to actually be the combination of my problems. Accidents happened, and the hangar door was struck by a snowplow, and it has been in very unsafe condition and deteriorating since then, to the point where I'm never sure whether the hangar door is going to open or close, and if there's going to be any shrapnel coming off the door. And again, accidents happen. The poor gentleman immediately called and was very apologetic, but it's been since December. And, now I get from a gentleman, his name slips my mind right now, requesting that I pay more for the hangar. And while, I understand things go up, but, I've had to work under some pretty bad conditions. I've had to extract the snow away from the hangar doors for a number of years, and I've had to remove the sand, which is abrasive not just to the aircraft, but to the engine itself, which is harmful with an air-cooled engine. And I've tried to, I guess to be honest with you, I'm using this venue at this particular point in time to maybe try to, I've got a credit card here in my pocket from CCOM Federal Credit Union that doesn't work anymore because I did try to put it into the card swiper, and the helicopter parks right there and blows up all the sand. I kind of use them this time because the problem is that I've been squawking about it for a number of years, now that the contract is due for the lease, I'm hoping maybe I can get some people to listen by speaking to the board. So The letter, I apologize, I wasn't sure how many were, want to know the best, of course, is Roger McBath, but he noticed he wasn't here, and Bill Nelson. Besides from that, I didn't bring the letters, so I just want you to, I should have mailed it, I was going to, but I wasn't sure who to mail it to, and I contacted an individual, and they said they would give the addresses and names to me. And
To summarize, then, you're looking for a rent abatement, or you're looking
I'm trying to get my rent reduced because of the issues that, the conditions and the issues that I bring up. And I'm concerned, I think that I know there are 10 hangars there, and I know there are 3 of the hangars that are housing what are called airplanes. There's no question. They are called airplanes. They have that general shape and engine, and the problem is they haven't been started in a number of years. They're out of annual. My concern is, I've been told, I don't know this, I've been told that an airplane out of annual is an uninsured aircraft by most insurance companies. My concern is with an uninsured aircraft in a hangar that some of them haven't seen the light of day in years, that you could actually have, much as with an automobile, a leaky, corrosive fuel tank and cause a dangerous condition throughout the hangar for all of the airplanes that are there. And, I guess I've been asked to pay more. These guys are paying the same as I do, and yet I and a group of other people, some 50 to 60% of the available hangars, use a great deal of fuel. And the last time I was here, by the only commission, you mark up the fuel 20%, and profit is not that good. You've got to make a profit. I'm not opposed to that. I'm simply saying that, I contribute myself and others contribute in ways, and yet these people that don't even have a legal airplane are paying the exact same amount of money. I think you can understand that if you had a larger group of people contributing, your costs would maybe go down, maybe if you open on weekends, but I don't want to go there. That's, something of your own. In general aviation, you'll do a lot more business on weekends than you will on, during the week.
What's your problem with your credit card? I don't understand.
There's a code swipe.
Right.
And the magnetic stripe on the credit card. And you slide it in, and the helicopter is parked there and blown the sand because there's no way of guarding the swiping apparatus. I don't know what you can call it.
Magnetic.
Because I no longer work.
Yes, it is.
My card no longer works because I tried and you can hear my rattle now. It's breaking on it. And so
we really have a maintenance issue out there rather than, that's not a little, it's more of a maintenance. We run the aprons, we run sand there right until, right now, we could get snow tomorrow. I can go out and sweep that every day, and I've explained this to Russ, is that we can't take care of that until things settle down. It's just like doing the streets, you can do the best you can. So the sand's going to be there probably 4 or 5 months out of the year. And it's as unfortunate as it is, we can't deal with that all the time. But and your case,
what I'm saying is that in May and June, I have to go.
That is at GA Airport, but also we do a lot of things out there maintenance-wise that specifically take care of the LAA things in our certification. So maybe around the hangars, there's issues that he may have that have been overlooked on that. And basically I didn't realize how important it is to him. But we sweep the airport every spring, and we run equipment and take care of that. And we take care of the shoulders and things. But maybe around the GA hangar, we don't do as good a job as what really needs to be done. And I know Russ has talked about issues with pest control and things like that with possibly varmints and things getting in there, and that's something I'm going to look at. I've heard that. On the hangar door, that hangar was hit in December. We were working off a set of drawings that I thought were the drawings for that, so when we submitted some part numbers, we had all kinds of trouble with ProFab getting parts. These were hand-drawn prints I found out last week with ProFab. They're going to send us a working set of drawings that they have
good record of everything they did, so we have that. So, but that is an oversight on my part. I mean, to go this long with that, and I thought the door was operating properly, but like Russ said, he can get out there at times, and he just doesn't know whether it may not close or it may not open. And so far, it's been all right, but it's binding. I took a look at it. He's correct on that, and we're going to try to resolve that right away because that is the biggest issue right now.
It is, the door being, there's a pretty good opening there, birds can get in and rodents can get in, and if you read articles of the plane safety and like you'll read where the feces and the urine from rodents and from birds can actually be a very corrosive causing problem, and they never seem to occur where it's usually found. It's always deep in the, I mean, it's like a mouse, you're going to find a mouse on the tabletop causing a problem, you're going to find them, in a dark area. So it's just an issue, and I apologize. I'm just trying to...
Don't apologize. That's just wants to come here. Let me ask you a question. You're paying, presently, you pay $150?
No, I'm respectfully requesting that I pay $150.
What are you paying?
I'm paying $180, and I've been asked to pay $185.
So you're paying $180.
Right.
And
I pay it a year in advance. I mean, when I get the bill, I pay it. A full year in advance. And that's what I was requesting. I mean, you don't have to go anymore, your maintenance, your administrative fees are down because I just let you check. One thing is
well, one of the things that I'd like to we're going to have our people investigate this. And then since today you brought the board aware of some issues and safety issues and some other issues that we need to look into, if we have certain things out there that does not meet the FAA, Steve, is that right?
Not so much.
Safety rules and regulations of other people's planes out there and stuff. We want to look into that, and if that's the case, then we'll take the necessary steps to correct that, and I'll have Steve meet with you on that issue, and we'll definitely respond to your letter here in the next 20 days.
Yeah, on behalf of the authority, I'll apologize right up front. We knew the door had a crease in it out there. I was not aware of the fact that it was causing me so much grief, as you're indicating here.
The other problem is, people have to tell people to stand back because the door binds, and one side might go down and the other one may not, so it really gets cattywampus. And we'll get the door fixed. The door has some shrapnel there from very sharp, jagged edges, and I'm afraid of it.
Well, maybe one more.
Good.
We're done. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you, folks.
I've seen your name before. Thank you very much. We're trying to get this taken care of for you.
It's good for it, because otherwise...
Appreciate it. Okay. Executive Director's report.
A couple of key things to bring to your attention. It's been an extremely busy month, as you'll see by all the staff reports. A couple of things I'd like to highlight out of my particular report is I met with the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in Buffalo and initiated Section 107 study for dredging the Port of Ogdensburg. We are now up to speed on exactly what a Section 107 is. We have copies of the Section 107 that was performed in 1982. It's about a 400-page document. If there's any questions, we'd be happy to get you a copy of that. In addition, we have coming a land agreement on the dike portion that defines exactly what we own and how that all works. And the Section 107 study will address some of the long-standing questions that we've had relative to that dike area as well. I've done a lot of work this period on heavy lift project discussions for potential cargo. Concluded contractual discussions with Riverbank throughout the period. continuing to pursue stimulus money for the bridge rehabilitation project, and you'll see an FHWA Federal Highway Administration agreement in the board packet tonight. We've had the deck replacement progress meeting with GPI, and I would particularly like to take a minute and thank all the folks that came up to both myself and John Reich at the Ogdensburg Expo. We got a lot of feedback from the community and a lot of input, and it's greatly appreciated by all the folks that stopped by.
Learning more, at this time we want to talk about the $90 million that we've asked for the bridge. Is there any news, anybody know anything about what's happening anywhere?
Not at this point. There are some things I'll share with you. I'd be happy to follow up with you privately after the meeting, but what I can say publicly is our request for the $90 million in capital needs for the structure is actually on the stimulus list 4 times. You can see that looking at the Economic Recovery Cabinet website. There is a 750-page document of all the stimulus projects that are on there. I don't think it's going to happen that way.
Moving on the bridge. But we are showing them some places.
Yes.
On that.
Yes. And again, it's too early to tell whether we will or will not get the funding for this. But just a recap, this is a 2+ year project, creating between 1,800 and 2,500 jobs overall. So,
well, I just wanted to share with you on that particular issue. We were in Plattsburgh last week at the labor meeting up there with the building trades up there, and the governor's spokesman was there, and we spoke with him about this project. And of course, the 1,800 jobs that we're going to create, those folks are involved in. Because there are iron workers, steel workers, the laborers, and the laborers running all over, the operating engineers and everything else. So we let it, we let them know that we're not happy up here. Because we don't see any money coming this way. And I say that to the press. Don't go to sleep on this one. North Country doesn't see any money coming. You can talk to the rest of the folks that's in this business. But anyways, I just wanted to share that with you on that particular issue.
one other thing to add on that point, we will be having a meeting with the regional director of DOT. We'll be coming here to the Bridge and Port Authority at a date to be determined. The gentleman's name is Mark Silo. And I should have the date for the Albany meetings with the DOT commissioner and 2 aides from the governor's office, high-level aides from the governor's office this week. So I'll have those dates nailed down.
And that meeting will be Bill, Mary, and Sam. So we'll let you know ahead of time for when we're going to tie some other meetings in if we can. So that will be now. We're going to try to fly down. Give us one more time down there when we get there.
And we don't have any idea when or month?
No, that's correct. Not at this point.
Well, we got to go. We're ready to go.
We'll let you. Okay. Any questions of Wayne's report? Need none? We'll move on to the financial officer, Mark Marshall.
As far as the status of the financial statements, the year-end came in March 31st. Those are in progress. So next meeting, we'll have a draft unaudited of the year-end statements. And between now and then, I'll shoot out the 11-month statements in the mail just so you can see kind of where we're shaping up. In your agreed board packets folders, there's the updated bridge traffic report for the month of March. And that's actually the 12 months ending March 31st. So when you get a chance, you can look that over. We're down 26,000 crossings, down 16,000 auto, and down 10,000 commercial. So we're down about 4.6%, but we're still about 8-9% ahead of 2 years ago, if you will. And also the airport activity report is also in there for the 11 months ending February. So if anybody has questions on those in the future, feel free to send me an email or something. Spent some time with the insurance policy renewal process, and there's a resolution that will be in front of us tonight. With Steve's help, I think we've got the replacement values and the equipment list probably tied down tighter than we've had since I've been here, so I think we've got some good numbers there to show you here in a little while.
Did it, Mark? That's about it. Any questions, Mark? Steve, Director of Operations?
Just a couple of things there. The construction of the restroom in Building 14 with Omar, that's substantially complete, and the electrical contractor has completed most of that electrical work. So we met the startup schedule there that first couple of weeks of April is what Tomar was looking, so we did pretty well, and thanks for your help on that. We have reviewed the advanced design plans for the toll booth relocation project, and we've sent maybe a half dozen comments to that. But it looks as though the preliminary design plans are in place, and then I think out of all of the feedback that they get, the final drawings will come. The hangar development project is 95% complete. The only thing that remains is the interior finish of the office space, and that should be wound up by the end of the month. You can see in the report there, just as a summary, we received approximately 80,000 tons of salt from American Rock Salt. Was every bit of what they said they were going to bring, and it was the end of the season was quite slow, but all in all, for our first year coming in by rail, everything went quite well there. Molten Salt, some of their sales rep visited with Wade and John and I, and they gave us an idea of what they're doing. They're looking to possibly send in one vessel here in April, but we haven't confirmed that yet. And just basically, we're doing pretty well with moving just different grains and different items through the port. It's been pretty steady.
Any questions? Steve, I was down at the port, and I want to tell you, it looks good down there. Since everything's been gone out, it really looks good.
We were lucky with the easy march there. We're just kind of picking away in between, and a lot of the leftover stuff in the room cleaned up. So.
Some of the fishermen, Steve, called me, and a couple of them seen me in the PNC, and they told me about some kids down there and some other folks throwing trash. And I told them, I says, to call and report it. Give us a license number. First time, we'll give that person a warning. We'll take care of it ourselves. We're not out to arrest any of the community citizens, but they will not be allowed back in there to continue. The other thing is, if they don't turn them in, they're going to get closed down and they'll have to walk in. So I told them, you people got to take care of yourselves, because you want to be in there, take care of it.
I think, in general, most people have, because, I don't have as much experience as Joe did, but from what I see last month or two, it's been pretty good. There's a few things, but nothing like what we've seen in the past, and I think that's why it is. These other people are policing it. It's been pretty good.
Well, I told them they got to police it, because we can't. We can't go down there and police it. So it's a benefit for them. If they want to lose it, then other people that exploring it, they have to let us know who it is. We'll take care of it from there.
I think Wade mentioned earlier that the ice fishermen, again, they did a really good job. When the ice went out, there wasn't anywhere near the old shacks and debris that people had left. There was just nothing there. So I think they did a pretty good job.
Okay. Committee reports. Personnel. Sam?
Personnel, met today, we got in the process, we have a retirement of Pete Mulpatee, and wish Pete well in his retirement. Wade and his staff conducted interviews and came up with in the process, we realized that it's not finalized yet. There's a process and procedure that we need to follow through yet before we can, where we know what the total collector may be for our next, in this process. So nothing at this point in time. As soon as we get the process completed, we'll move forward with it as soon as possible. That's it.
Jimmy, facility committees?
Facilities met today at 3. Discussed 4 different, actually 5 different items. They're all actually in your board packet for approval tonight, totals replacement, Ogdensburg border station, HVAC systems, airport, we got change order with Collins and Hammond for the Beacon project, and we also have a memorandum of understanding for some lease parcels with the FAA for some nav aids. And finally, on the port, we've got a recommendation to select a consultant for the port security project. But each of those items are in our board packet tonight, and we'll get into those shortly.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Unfinished business. Oh, excuse me, financial. Don, I almost missed you.
I met with Pat Hill at 3 o'clock this afternoon and reviewed a sample of the expenditures and did seek out some explanations for some things, and she was Johnny on the spot with the explanations and found everything to be in order.
Yes, just don't go back to my days. Okay. Unfinished business.
There's none.
Events and activities. May 14th. Ooh.
This is a weird date for a reason, right?
Yeah, May 14th.
We had to move it from the first Tuesday to the second Tuesday.
May 14th.
Or Thursday, sorry. Thanks, Betty.
You don't want to move it that day. I know, but something just come up with you recently. With all things going on that area. That's fine, I'll let you know, but she can handle it. But I think that just looking at the date, something just popped up yesterday, some kind of a hearing. Okay, I'm all set, and the business items, turn that right over, Wade, right to you.
The first item is approval of agreement with Train. Train proposed 3 options to the authority. As you can see right there, 4 options. We have the ability to save 7.75% with a prepayment option at the year 1, 2, and 3 rates that you see there, 51.40, 52.94, and 54.52, respectively in years 1, 2, and 3 of the agreement.
Those numbers do not include the 7.75%.
That's correct, right. They're non-inclusive of the 7.75% discount.
The grand total after the discount is $14,656.
The prepayment option is prepaying 3 years or prepaying each year?
I'm not seeing the actual contract. I'm assuming we pay the whole 3 years up front. We're earning about 0.5% right now down on the...
I understand.
Savings like $1 on the net.
That much, huh?
I'm thinking that assessment would be an agreement.
The gusher.
He ain't going that much.
Motion's in order to accept.
Rounding up.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
The next item on page 10 of your packet is a toll agreement with the FHWA, Federal Highway Administration of USDOT, and also New York State DOT. What this is a toll agreement that allows us to access federal funds should we receive stimulus funds or other federal funds for the bridge project. The important thing to note is this agreement requires that all toll revenues be first used for debt service, reasonable return on private investment, operation and maintenance, including reconstruction, resurfacing, restoring, and rehabilitation work on the Ogdensburg-Prescott International Bridge.
Does that require a lot more financial work on your end, Mark, than we've done in the past? Are you prepared to do that?
We don't know yet how much, but yeah, we're going to have to go through an annual audit.
An annual audit, I mean, also, have you always segregated?
No, we've got the numbers segregated already.
Always done that, so that shouldn't internally be a nightmare.
That will not be a nightmare at all. No.
Well, I know we're different cost centers, I just didn't know if we'd ever allocated the way they want us to allocate.
No, it's all there.
Okay.
Yep.
Motion made. Mary?
I'll make the motion.
For a second?
No second.
Jim? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So.
Next item, you've seen in prior years, at the Port of Ogdensburg, there's an agreement with American, Canadian, Caribbean Line. This line has requested permission to dock at the Port of Ogdensburg again this year for approximately 1 hour per visit to clear customs during the 2009 season. Of course, they'll give us 24 hours notice, as they've done in the past, and we will charge a dockage fee of $200 per vessel.
This is an airport?
Yes.
Airport.
Don? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Next item up on page 12. Actually, there's been a change on that, so it'll be a separate handout. Agenda item B2, approval of selection for a marine terminal security consultant. You'll recall this is the part of the Homeland Security grant, of which the authority contributes $75,000. We conducted an RFQ of eligible firms. We received 10 proposals on February 27th. Reviewed that. Backing up half a step here, this is for lighting cameras, gates, and other security-related measures at the port, or at the marine terminal, I should say. And based on the review of the proposals, staff recommended the Wendell Duchère be selected as the firm to negotiate with. And the change on here in the resolution part is that should we not successfully negotiate with Wendell Duchère, we'll move on to the next most qualified firm.
Have a motion?
So move that.
Bill and Sam, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? So
Item C1 on page 13 is approval of a transfer and storage agreement with John J. Beerhart. This is a transfer and storage agreement for hangar space at the airport. This one is different than our typical ones, as this customer pays in full in advance for a 6-month term. The amount is $1,110. I'll move that.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
Do we normally do 6-month leases for these things?
No, we don't. This is unusual because this is, well, again, it was mentioned in open discussion. This is one of the planes that need to undergo airworthiness, and as soon as he gets it certified as being airworthy, it's my understanding he's flying the plane out.
But do we normally do 6 months?
No.
Or usually a year?
No. This, without getting into all the specifics on the account, the nature of this account made collections difficult. So as a result, we worked specifically with this customer to pay in advance.
Okay.
But most of the people pay $185 a month, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
The gentleman that was here a little while ago says once he gets an agreed figure, he'll pay it all. He pays it all, one check.
That's his choice to do, but we always bill it out at $185 a month.
So no discount for prepayment is what you're asking?
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that, okay, a motion in order.
Let me go back a little.
We approve this one. Yeah. We already did? Yeah.
If you're paid by the month,
I get lost once in a while.
there's no guarantee. Those could be there the next month. We have no guarantee. We don't have to fulfill.
Now, our typical lease is 1-year term, $185 per month. So what happened in this particular case, this gentleman does not work in the continental U.S.
Okay.
So there's difficulty there, and there was a prior payment history issue on this account.
Okay.
So as this account transferred from father to son, the terms of the agreement were changed so that it's prepay.
Okay.
Okay, the next agreement is with R.V. Lawrence. Is that the gentleman that was here?
Yes, that's correct.
So this is going to be tabled. We can't pass this because
I would recommend that we not deal with this one until we
settle the issue with the
Bring it up.
Yeah, we're just going to, because they got the document, didn't say I didn't discuss it.
So that would
You
be...
want to discuss something?
I knew that was coming. I got to give it. Well, I seen her turn her head down, I knew it was coming right back.
So that would bring us to our next agenda item on C3, page 15, Ogdensburg Airport, change order 2 with Collins Hammond. This is on the airfield electric building and beacon relocation project. The change order is in the amount of $2,040, and it dealt with the relocation of the airfield lighting control radio antenna and the installation of a wall-mount electric heater. And again, total on this $2,040. And just a recap on how the project's funded: 95% FAA, 2.5% DOT, 2.5% OBPA.
Motion made, Bill? Yep.
I'll second.
Jim, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye.
And I think not that we would go that way, but I think the clarification we had at the facility meeting is we only paid 2.5%, that $2,040.
Yes, that's
Not the 2,040. Okay.
Yes. Item C4 on page 16 is a memorandum of agreement with the FAA. FAA is consolidating their agreements that we have on the nav aids for navigation, communication, and weather aids into one, I'll call it standard boilerplate, if you will, with the FAA. And that is the meaning, they've got a specific name here for it. Memorandum of Understanding FAA. It basically consolidates the agreements as you can see there.
Taking 3 individual leases and combining them into one.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Mary, second.
Second.
Don, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Now we got,
There are 2 matters, other such matters. Agenda item D1 that we have is the approval of the insurance renewals. Mark, would you like to speak to this, please?
Sure. April 30th is our annual renewal date for these following policies: property, general liability, auto, terminal operators, which includes warehousing, the airport, and our crime policy. So it's basically pretty much everything except for directors and officers and the bridge, which will renew in July and August, I believe. The 09 to 10 premium is $114,394, and you can see that lined up with the 3 previous years. All of these policies, with the exception of the airport, is with travelers, and the airport liability is with ACE, as they are more into that market, so they can get us a better quote and a better product.
Mark, how come, I understand when our liability went down, and I remember being here during the terrorist attack, things like that. How come those things like our crime has gone up? For premium.
It went down.
No, I'm reading from
Crime and
565, and 2,900.
In 07, 08, and 06, 07, part of that number was up in the GL, in the general liability.
Oh, that's okay.
And the portion this year of that 565 and 965 you see, I think is 829.
Got it.
Is the,
Okay.
they've kind of produced those numbers a little differently the last couple of years.
I couldn't think of anything we'd had that we had submitted for a claim on crime, so that's why I was asking. Okay.
No, we haven't had a loss.
Don't say that.
motion made by Bill, seconded by Mary. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed?
And the last item under other such matters is agenda item D2, termination of negotiations with Riverbank Power, Ogdensburg. As you recall, we had board actions act on June 24th, 2008, the special board meeting, and recent communications with Riverbank. Riverbank has advised the authority that it will not abide by the terms it originally negotiated, and for that reason it's recommended that the following resolution be passed.
Would you read that resolution into the record?
Certainly. Resolved, Riverbank Power Ogdensburg has advised the Executive Director of the Ogdensburg Bridge and Port Authority that it is no longer willing to abide by the negotiated terms and conditions of the agreement as a result of the June 24, 2008 special board meeting, and be it further resolved that for this reason, the project is no longer able to proceed.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anything on the question? Okay.
No idea. Jerry, did you have?
Any railroad news for us?
Just here to answer questions.
Oh, okay.
I got you down, Jerry. But it was earlier.
Yeah, we talked. Things are going very well. We're excited about the increases in traffic and the small businesses going well. And we just got told today there's another 4,000 plus tons of fertilizer on the way. In fact, it's a little scary because we're going to be very busy trying to juggle these things around to get it unloaded. But it's going real well. It's better to be busy than to be looking for business. In fact, it's kind of ironic because everybody else is singing the blues about the economy, but the railroad up here seems to be pretty busy. So big here.
Okay.
How's the word knocking? That's right.
Need a motion to adjourn?
I'll make the motion.
We have a second, Don? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, out of order. Thank you, folks. Yes. I still do that open session. Yeah. You get some notifies from the meeting. And that meeting. The question I would ask, you're still June 24th is all I need. Alright, so this, you want to attach this, and this. As far as I'm concerned, that's it. We don't need to notify you. I don't know if you want to, I think that's worth it. Yeah, there's rats out there.
Posting insurance. Employees. Everybody else. And their advantage is that they work here.
Well,